Hey guys.
I'm Bob.
I'm Barb. Together we make up
HetteshWorld.
Today we are doing a different, unique video. What's going on today, Bob?
We found some new helmets and Barb's going to discuss where we found them.
We found them through John and Miriam. John and Miriam's travel blog, aka
John and Miriam's Asphalt Odyssey.
Which if you're not following them, you should follow them. Which I'm sure everyone in the world is following them because they're awesome. But if not, I will have their link and information below. But they had some helmets that they had acquired but weren't right for them.
Yep.
So we decided, why don't we help them out? Take it off their hands.
Yeah, we were sort of looking for these helmets too. They're HJCs, i90s. Kind of looking at those in another helmet, but these just happened to come into our world, and
and we snatched
them up.
Yep. So today, Bob will talk a little bit about the helmet itself in general, the one we chose, and what he likes about it for us. And then we're also going to be installing
some communication devices, some Bluetooth. Well, they're going to have mesh network. So I'll show you the helmet first. They're both silver.
Yep.
They do have the.
They work well with our colors.
They got the shield that raises up. These are modular helmets, so they do have. And they got the drop-down shade. They're nice and snug, a lot more snug than our old Torx helmets we had.
Yeah,
these got some really tight cheek pads on them.
We wore the Torx helmets for the last time yesterday when we went on a drive.
Yeah.
And it was amazing how just loose it is. It doesn't have all this extra padding. And
yeah, after a year, they sort of, the pads really got smashed in.
Yeah. And
they were kind of just rocking on our heads. They got a vent here on the front for defogging the front lens.
Yep.
They do have a vent, an inlet vent, and an intake right here. Then on the back side, they do have an exhaust vent, so it ventures air over and pulls air out. And inside the helmet, you'll see when we take this apart, you'll see that it does have channels inside of it for letting that air escape out the back.
Which is really nice. Our other ones didn't have that. Our other ones came with a communication system, but we could hear each other if we were here in the room. We could hear each other when we first got on the bike, maybe a little bit down the road, and most of the time if he would talk to tell me something, I'd finally go, yeah, because I had no idea what he was saying.
Anything over 30 mile an hour, maybe the device picking up so much noise, it was canceling out us.
Yeah.
But anything over 30 was pretty much impossible to hear.
So we're super excited about these helmets. Thank you again, John and Miriam. So let's get started now with installing the communications.
We're installing these Cardo PACKTALK bulbs. So these are mesh design. You can use Bluetooth, but you can also, they got their own mesh where when that mesh is turned on, when helmets come into play that are Cardo, will automatically connect with them. Or you can connect to like a Senna through their mesh or through Bluetooth if you had to. So we mainly use them for our communication.
Yeah.
And to receive phone calls and to listen maybe some serious
that's the other thing. Our old communication system, we could either choose to talk to each other or choose to just be on the phone or choose to connect to the bike. This one we can do all kinds of.
These are Bluetooth 4.1. Our old one's Bluetooth 2.0. So they've limited on what they can connect to. Now Cardo just released some brand new models that are replacing these. These used to be $800 a set for a dual set. We got these for under $400, so they've come way down in price and great technology. We're going to show you how we install these on our helmets.
So stay tuned. We're Bob and Barb. We've lived by the rules all of our lives, but in 2020 we threw that rule book out the window. We sold our home and moved full-time into an RV with our cat Amelia. And from now on, we will be living life our way. Don't you want to come travel in our world?
I just want to talk a little bit more about the helmet. These do have smart HJC. You can actually buy their communication devices, and they're made by Senna. But we chose to go with the Cardos because we thought they were better for us. These have cheek pads, and they also have the helmet pad inside. We're going to remove these. So on these, they're very simple. They got some little clips inside. We'll have to pop these off. There's 3 clips that hold these together.
So maybe once we get it out, it's because it's a little hard to film.
Yeah, well,
I'll come around the other way.
Yeah. So these tuck in here, and these you got to fish these your
the chin straps
in. Let's get them out of here. And I'll show you these once I get this unsnapped here. I'll show you this inside. But these kind of tuck in here. and it's got a little lock. You can see these little 3 little red tabs. They lock into this right here. That right there has a little clip and it locks in. There's a little barb sticking out right there. Locks in. And then these we're going to pull out. There, also on this side there's 3 locks. And they're off. And then these you got to pull up.
And they're in there pretty secure, which is good. That's what you want.
Yeah, they're tucked in there good. Well, this one here you have to untuck it, and you got to pull because it's got that little slot that kind of holds. You can see that little barb sticking through there.
He keeps saying I'm sticking out.
This side here, it's got 2 snaps in the back side, so they snap out. And then it comes all the way up here to the front here, and these pull out. These slide in. So you can see these slide. These tuck into here. They got little latches that locks them in there, and that takes the helmet out. And then talking about that venting I was talking about earlier, this vents in the front, these come down so air, even when the shield's into this vent comes up through here, and then these are the exit holes that go out to your exhaust out the back. Even when your top piece is in there, it holds those in place. So what I do with these, I just take a little painter's tape, because these things will flop around while you're doing your install. So I just kind of get these out of the way so we don't have to deal with these. Well, eventually the stuff the kit comes with. It's got a clip, so if you got a thin enough wall helmet, you could stick this on here and push this up, and that would lock this in. That'll allow this thing to accept this communication device. But we are actually using the factory mount that will accept this device and actually glue to the helmet. So it's got some 3M tape on it, and it's actually got a little curvature. I was a little concerned about the curvature, but this actually will conform to a round helmet. We'll lock that in there, but this clips in this way and locks in. So that's what we're going to do. So everything's going to be on the left side of the helmet. This unit comes with JBL speakers. So what we're going to do starting out, we're going to install the speakers, and it does have these little alcohol pads here. And I'm going to clean up.
Yep. Always remove any residue before you would attach anything, just
this helmet here
to make sure it's clean.
Pretty much brand new. It does have these little ear indentation right here. So it's got a spot there to accept communication devices. So what I'm doing is just going to wipe these off a little, this alcohol pad. So any fat residue that's there.
And we bought this kit off Amazon. I will link it below for those that are interested.
Yeah, these are really nice communication devices. A lot of bikes use them, and they've come way down in price. So these speakers have got a Velcro backing on them, as you can see right there. It will accept this pad here. So these will lock them in place. So we just got to pull these off, and I'll flip this helmet over so you can see here. Just going to put these in, and we're just going to push those down there. So we've got a spot for those earpieces that fit into. So we're going to do this side. It's got a really nice design, the way everything's set to go. So we're going to put this guy in here. And if you know anything about 3M tape, it's not very forgiving. That once it's in there, it's pretty much in there, as long as you cleaned up the surface well. So next we want to do these speakers. These speakers, you got a long wire and you got a short wire. The short wire is going to go on your left side because it's going to accept this 3.5 millimeter connector for your sound. So our short one's going to go on this side because our wiring is going to be on this side. And if you look inside this helmet, they've got these little channels, and I'll kind of point them, that channel right there. So when we put these speakers in here, we'll be able to run these wires down to that channel. Kind of, the factory's kind of got a little divot in there, so all we gotta do is push that wire down through there. And once I get them in there, I'll tuck them in there really well. But connection up here will have several wires. You'll have your mic and your speakers. So these will all get tucked down to that cavity there. What I was doing, I was just taking a little piece of this painter's tape, and I'm just going to hold it in there. That'll hold it That'll hold it till I get the cheek pad back in place and stuff to keep that wire from popping out. So on this other side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put the speaker into where it goes down through this wiring right here, this wire channel. Push it in, tuck the wire. That makes it pretty easy. Probably because this helmet's set up for a communication device, the factory puts these little channels in there.
Which is really nice.
Yep.
You don't have to pretty much destroy your helmet to get your device, communication device in.
So like I did on the other side, I'm just going to put a little tape. A little tape right there. So that's pretty much all there is to the speakers. To do, we have to actually mount this. This microphone here is for like a non-modular helmet. So it would mount up inside your helmet and then tie into your communicator. But since we got open face modulars, we're going to use the boom mic like this. So this will work, and it does have an arrow. So you got to make sure that arrow points toward your mouth because that microphone is directional. The communication is going to be on this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually use my own cleaner a little bit on this pad. And I'll show you, this helmet's got a pretty neat little design where the wires will tuck real easy. I'm going to use this factory little groove for the helmet right here to hold our wiring. The mount itself that mounts onto the helmet, it actually is a little bit concaved, so it conformed to a round helmet. That's where I was a little worried, but it's designed to be that way. So what we want to do here is I want to get these wires, so they're going to go down in our factory groove, and then I want to get these communicators so it sits on there like that. So it's going to tuck down in there. So we're just going to press and hold that in there for a little bit. I got my speaker wire running down through there, and I'm going to pull these two wires the same way. I'm going to tuck them right down inside that groove in that factory slot there. This will tuck all the way down in here. And then our speakers got a hook up here. I'm just going to put a little piece of tape here to hold that, mainly so till I get that cheek pad in there, but it can stay in there and it can hurt nothing. The other thing I want to do, just these probably never going to ever happen, but I'm taping this connection here just so that they won't ever get pulled apart. It's pretty much up inside the helmet. I don't think it really can come out of there. So our next thing we have to do is mount our boom mic. So you got everybody's helmet's going to be a little bit different, but we want to mount this to where it will be out in front of us, and that's what you have to determine where the best spot is for it. Just kind of put it there, and they give us little Velcro pads for these two, but I want to get this to where it's not gonna with my lock-ins for my helmet. So what I'm going to do here is get my towel and get some alcohol on it. I just want to wipe this spots right here so these little Velcro spots can lock in here.
Amelia, are we filming and you're not able to see out the window? Here, sweetie. There. Is that okay for now? We'll open it up in just a few minutes.
So I'm just going to stick this pad here, and I'm going to stick a pad right here, and then we can mount this boom mic. So we're going to stick this like this. Then I'll show you on this boom mic, they have it to where it's the back side of the Velcro.
Can we see the little arrow real quick too?
Yeah, there's an arrow right there. That has to be pointed. That's a directional mic, so it has to be pointed toward your mouth when you've got it on you. And it holds. I was thinking it wasn't going to hold real good, but boy, it's stout. And then this has a connection on it that goes to our communicator. It's only one direction, and that clips on. And I'm just gonna, just for security, I'm just gonna put a little piece of tape onto that too, just so that doesn't come undone on us. It's a pretty positive connection, just to make sure that it doesn't come undone. On the helmet, where these wires are coming down through here, these two wires, when its cheek pad goes in, it does have a little spot, little divot. So what I found is to cut this out a little bit. So what I do is just I'm just going to come down through here and go a little deeper into this cut. And
it's just a little too tight on the wires, right?
Yeah, it just makes it a little tight. So I'm just cutting a little piece out of that. Wire will ride in there easier. These cheek pads, the one with the longer leash on here, this is to protect your chin when it's on your chin. The shorter one goes on the one with the shorter, and the longer one goes on with the one with the longer. What we have to do is we got to tuck these, and there's on this helmet it's got these little zippers that go up inside here. So these will pop through. This little slot here, there's a, like I said earlier, there's a barb in there.
There I am again.
That barb has to tuck into that
slot. And then you just do a matter of tucking in.
And then these have to tuck in.
Yeah, it's pretty neat how it works.
This is where I was talking about that cut right there with the wire. If I push this forward a little bit. That's going to tuck in there and not cut that wire. Those 3 tabs we talked about earlier when we took this apart. It's kind of hard to see, but I got this one here.
It's kind of like a snap-in.
Yeah, it's like a little plastic snap. And then your wiring, this wiring, you just want to wire, management out of your way. So whatever way you got to do to get it to get out of your way. That's why I put those little pieces of tape in there, kind of keep that out of the way while I'm putting this back in here. And these are removable, so you can actually wash them. They're washable, so you can wash them. So you go on some real hot, sweaty rides, you can.
Or my makeup.
Yep. So those 3 are locked in, and you'll see the boom mic will come around. So that's just so you can kind of move this boom mic around once it's up in there. So we'll get this cheek pad here. This one here, you can see the barb real easy on it, but it's got to tuck in, and I'm sure every helmet's a little different, but that will tuck in there and lock that piece of plastic in there. The knees have to just kind of tuck back, and they kind of follow the mold of the helmet like that. And then this has the 3. It's probably easy to do this bottom one first. All your wiring is going to basically be up inside the helmet, so it's going to be underneath this top of the helmet. This does have 2 snaps in the back, and then it has these front. These all have to slide into a slot here in the front. So I tuck these corners in first, and then these got a little spot they slide into, and they're a little positive click too. That one's not all the way in. Okay, these will all pop into a little spot too. Yeah, it follows a line if it's going in there right. And then on the back side, there's 2 locks. So lock this in. That one. So that's pretty much it.
And this is right, turn up, turn down.
Volume. And I haven't gone over all the buttons yet, but it's got different buttons. But we're going to use the Cardo app. Cardo has a Cardo Connect app, so you can do all your connections and all that stuff. And pretty much all we're going to use is the volume knob, because we're going to connect them. And once they're connected on mesh, they'll stay connected. Every time we turn them on, they're going to be connected and work.
So putting those on, it's pretty easy.
Yep. Like we said, it's got the charging port. You got to make sure the front's in, locked in. It does have a little tab back here. You just put them on, click them on.
Yeah.
And it's on there. And then the wires are all tucked back inside. Boom mic can be moved around. So yeah, the boom mic, it's kind of a cable mic, so you can move it out further away, closer to you. As long as that arrow is pointing towards your mouth, which it is right now. And that should be it.
Well, that's good. I think we're going to have to try it out here and see what happens.
Yep. Barb, can you hear me? Barb, can you hear me?
Bob, I hear you. You're coming in loud and clear. Let's go, Bobby.
Wait a second. We got to finish our helmet close.
That's right. How could I forget? We hope that you like this video. We hope that you will subscribe. We'll hope that you'll want to get notified, so click that notification bell.
Give us the comments. We want the comments. We're going to test out these new microphone systems and see how well they work.
Yeah, he's booming in my head, so I know we got to go. So remember, we're HetteshWorld.
Come travel in our world.